The Amsterdam Casino Open Holland Masters was a Players' Championship event held as a part of the 2008 PDC Pro Tour. Adrian Lewis reached the quarterfinals of this tournament with 3 straight 3-1 wins, where he faced Kevin Painter, who had done the same in the first 3 rounds. On the stage, with the game in a deciding set, Painter walked across the oche after taking his darts out of the board, rather than to the side. This annoyed Lewis, and a fight began on the stage, with the players squaring up and verbally abusing each other. The match was temporarily paused, and Painter was taken out of the room by security. The match was then cancelled as both players were disqualified from the event, meaning that Colin Osborne received a bye into the final. Lewis protested the disqualification, but it was upheld, and he was eventually given a 6-month ban, with 4 of the months suspended and a fine of £400. Painter was banned for 3 months, with 2 suspended and fined £200. Lewis got a bigger punishment, as he had recklessly disregarded the tournament director's instructions. After failing to get a tour card at Q School in 2018, 19 and 20, Cameron Menzies attended the battle for a tour card once again in 2021. He began in Stage 1A, where on the first day he managed to reach the last 64 with convincing 6-1 and 6-2 wins. He was then set to face Adam Smith-Neale, but he failed to arrive to the board in time as he was on the toilet doing a number 2. Menzies was therefore disqualified from that day, and Smith-Neale was given a bye. He revealed that nature had called and that he was phoned when he was in the toilet by officials, to whom he explained where he was. Apparently they said it was okay, but he was still disqualified. He was using the disabled toilets as he only had 10 minutes between his games. Amarin got 3 wins on the second day, but lost in a deciding leg in the first round on the third, leaving him with 3 points and a neutral leg difference, which was not enough to see him qualify for the final stage, meaning that his trip to the toilet was very, very costly. This was not even the first time that he has been disqualified from a match for being late. At the 2019 UK Open, which he qualified for through the Challenge Tour Order of Merit, he got to the second round after beating Wes Newton 6-4 on the main stage in his opening game. He was then set to face Jamie Bain, but he failed to arrive in time for the 5-minute warning, meaning that Bain was given a bye. This was due to the fact that Menzies had been practicing far from the area where he was set to play, and that he did not have a phone on him, so was not informed. Chris Mason called the lateness a schoolboy error, but that he felt sorry for Menzies, as with the number of players at the UK Open, it was hard to keep track of what was going on. 30 Players' Championship events were scheduled to take place in 2020, but only 23 were held due to the coronavirus pandemic. The 23rd and final event was part of the PDC's Winter Series, and Jonathan Worsley entered it looking likely to lose his tour card following it. During this time, to limit the number of people on site, players had to mark or find someone to mark for them. On one of the days, Worsley spilt a drink down his shirt on the way to the toilet and was forced to quickly change into a rugby shirt and rush to mark his board. Worsley got in trouble for this and apologised, as the shirt was not allowed. However, he got angry when he saw that the person Van Gogh got to mark for him was wearing just jeans and a t-shirt. Worsley asked for clarification on the rules from the tournament director. This should have stayed private, but MVG managed to find out, and there was an exchange of words between the players. MVG called Worsley a rat, as he felt he should have gone to him first. According to Van Gogh, Worsley tried to lay hands on him, and Worsley said in his own statement that he pushed the Dutchman. Security dealt with it, and Worsley was disqualified and removed from the tournament, giving a bye to Daryl Gurney. Perhaps the strangest reason that a darts player has been banned occurred at the 2022 WDF Antwerp Open, where an unknown player that Darren Johnson was meant to mark for was disqualified for throwing a dart into the marker's leg. In a tweet, Johnson said that the player threw 3 darts into the marker's leg, but Brian Roman clarified there was only 1. The player had taken 58 out in 2 darts to win the game, and then tried to throw his dart on the floor in a celebration, but it ended up in the marker's leg. The marker didn't complain, but the player was still suspended. Steve Brown won a tour card at Q School in 2020, and by the time that the 2021 UK Open came around, he was in the world's top 96, meaning that he started in the second round. He was drawn to face Scott Waits, who also started in this round, and ahead of his game, he returned to his hotel room, which is in the same complex as the playing area, as there was no room to practice. He assumed that the second round would start at around 2 PM, and as he was the third game on, he expected to be playing at around 2:45. He was watching the darts on TV in his room and saw Waits practicing, as Brown had got the timings wrong. He ran as fast as he could to the arena, going down 4 flights of stairs, where he was greeted by the tournament director, who said that he was 10 minutes too late, and as such, he was disqualified from the tournament, and Waits was given a bye. Steve stayed at the event to watch his son John, who managed to reach the 5th round, giving Steve something to smile about. Filipino-American Ricky Villanueva qualified for the 2004 Las Vegas Desert Classic through the North American qualifier. Villanueva was scheduled to face Steve Coote in the first round, but he was disqualified from the tournament as he failed to arrive 2 hours before the game, which was the rule as it was a televised event. He appeared in the hall 45 minutes before his game was set to start, and so was thrown out of the event. Whilst the tournament director stated that he informed him of the rule and the start time, Ricky stated that he heard the director say that the game would start between 2 and 2:30, and that he should have arrived 2 hours before this time. This misunderstanding could have been as Ricky's first language is Tagalog. Ricky did arrive well over 2 hours ahead of the time that he understood the tournament director to say, but Coote was still given a bye. Adam King finished 111th on the 2003 UK Open Regional Qualifiers Order of Merit, meaning that he was given the opportunity to make his UK Open debut. He was drawn to face Robert Hurd in the first round, and he had friends and sponsors in the crowd to watch. However, he was disqualified from the game as he didn't arrive within 3 minutes of the game starting. He was distraught, and his reaction was shown live on Sky TV. Hurd was given a bye, and the score went down as 5-0. Hurd lost 5-0 himself to Shane Burgess in the next round. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, as it really helps the channel out and will be greatly appreciated.